Welcome to JMR Talks. Today we'll discuss about workplace happiness. We all know that people love to give their best when they find the environment is strong and what we call enabling. So why workplace happiness what we call matters? Let's look into the what we call details. We have seen that when people enjoy what they do, feel proud of their work, their performance will be what we call better. For instance, look at what we call fish market at Seattle, USA, where they continue to work and have fun at the same time. Of course, even in our ancient best practices, you could find people being happy while working and all that. So improving what we call happiness at the workplace matters a lot. How we can do that? One thing is what we call optimizing the office space. The research has shown that there is a strong and positive correlation between happiness and the layout. If they have what we call enough what we call breathing space, visible space to what we call move around and work comfortably, their productivity will go higher. Be a more flexible employer. After the COVID, we have seen that especially the younger generation, millennials and the Z generation, they are looking for what we call flexible what we call environment. An environment where they can what we call the shots while sticking to the what we call targets. Third, rewarding your employees. A reward need not be what we call a monetary one. It could be non-monetary also. We all know that human beings crave for recognition. So objective recognition and the reward definitely what we call boost the morale of the employees and induce them to give their best. And most importantly, all the managers in today's environment, they need to focus on what we call three C's: commitment, culture, and what we call competency. We all know that absolute technology is dangerous, but absolute human resources is disastrous. So there is no point managers being what we call competent, because till they become manager, their success is all about what we call growing themselves. But once they become a manager, the success is all about what we call growing others. So are they doing enough to keep people what we call competent? Commitment, what we call matters a lot. People may forget what you say, people may forget what you do, but people will never forget how you make them feel. So are the managers what we call making the people feel so that they remain what we call committed, right? Then next is what we call being receptive. It is said a good manager has to be what we call a good listener. A manager need not know everything. In fact, some managers are under the what I call assumption that they must have answers for all. No, not necessarily. Being vulnerable is okay. When you are vulnerable, your colleagues also, your associates also feel that it's okay not knowing all the answers. That will build a what I call excellent culture of a psychological safety. But the more question arises as to, does happiness affect the workplace, or why the organizations in general and managers in particular should worry about the workplace happiness? The research has shown that when the workplace is what we call happy, the people are likely to stay 4 times longer than the jobs where they don't find workplace happiness. When people are happy, they are what we call less stressed. When they are less stressed, because you have a higher productivity. During the COVID time, we have seen the emphasis shifted from physical to what we call mental health. In good old days, lot of emphasis used to be on the what we call physical health, conducting annual health checkups and all that. But the COVID, has what we call taught us that we need to equally worry about the what we call mental health. But fine, is there any proof that workplace happiness adds to productivity or impacts productivity? Yes. Professor Andrew Oswald and others at Department of Economics, University of Warwick, UK, they have done what we call a detailed study, and they found that happiness makes what we call people more productive. For instance, look at what we call Google. They invested a lot on what we call improving the satisfaction of the employees, in terms of providing amenities and all that. And as a result, the satisfaction among the employees rose by 37%. So what is the message for us? Let's make our workplace emotionally healthy for what I call the workforce. A sound mind in a what I call a sound body. So we need to focus on both physical and what I call mental health. Excellent. So what is that we need to do? Number one, build positive relationships. In fact, I keep saying that the management revolves around your relationship management. The Harvard 75-year-old study, covering about 3 generations, when they tried to what I call find out what keeps a man happy and what I call healthy, they found quality relationships. Look at the 12 employment engagement questions of what I call Gallup. You find that, do I have a friend at the workplace and all that? So, as an organization in general and as a manager in particular, are we providing an environment for building what I call positive relationships? Second, create positive environment. Nowadays, we are talking about what I call psychological safety. The 12 employment engagement questions, what I call, don't talk about the 13th question. What is that? Suppose, I have an idea as a worker or as an employee. Do I know how to communicate to the what I call the management? Am I scared of communicating? Scared of what I call the reprimand? Or we succeeded in creating an environment where people can freely express their their ideas, their suggestions, etc. Be open to feedback. Most of the time we talk about managers giving constructive feedback, what I call to the employees. But what about taking the feedback from the employees? That means you are ensuring not only top to bottom, but bottom to what I call top the feedback. That helps what I call to improve the overall work environment. Encourage collaboration. Today, the concept of team is what I call very much popular. Together, everyone achieves more. So, are we creating an environment where people love to collaborate with each other? Because we all know that when we all stop competing with each other, but instead start collaborating, there will be celebration. Be there for them as a manager or as an organization. Are we what I call providing an assurance to the people that in bad times as well as in the good times, we are there for them? There is an excellent book, by Helen Kopp, along with Brian Elliott and Sheila Subramanian, How the Future Works. In this book, they explain how a flexible work schedule can unlock the potential among the worker employees. In the times to come, the millennials and the Z generation are going to form a significant portion of the worker workforce, and they look for a flexible work environment. Okay, we can have some principles in terms of some core values of the organization, which the employees need to what I call stick. But at the same time, we can also provide some guardrails, the agreed behaviors which we what I call expect from the employees. Now, once you set the what I call the principles and the guardrails, provide an environment where people can what I call interact with each other. Need not be always what I call offline, even on online. Have enough scope to what I call discuss, plan, deliberate, build positive relationships, ensure vulnerability, ensure what I call psychological safety. All these steps will definitely go in creating workplace happiness, wherein people are less stressed and what I call give their best, thereby contributing higher productivity of the organization. Today, organizations which crave for or which what I call which strive for workplace happiness definitely will do better in the contemporary times of today. Thank you.